What's going on, my beautiful people? I am Wes the Critic, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video, we are going to talk about why we will not be seeing T'Challa recasted in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I was on my phone and I came across this article that states Marvel VP reiterates why Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther won't be recast. Fans suggest it's time to reconsider. Let's get into this article. Chadwick Boseman's incomparable performance as King T'Challa in Marvel's Black Panther will always be in the minds of fans, but for many, the time to move forward with recasting future projects featuring the comic book character has come. Boseman first portrayed the Wakandan leader in 2016 while appearing in Captain America's Civil War. 2 years later, his character's eponymous blockbuster hit theaters. But when Chadwick Boseman passed in 2020, after a private years-long battle with cancer, the Marvel train hit a screeching halt just as talks were underway for the sequel, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. In the midst of mourning the actor's untimely passing, studio executives announced there would be no plans to recast T'Challa heading into the follow-up. Instead, his legacy as the Black Panther would be honored. Now, what do you guys think about that? For a long time, or ever since we found out that he passed, in my mind, I was like, he did hold a legendary, iconic, pivotal position in film, period, let alone in black film, okay? And so I understood why the executives did not want to recast T'Challa. It made sense. Now, with fans opening to the sequel, Marvel Cinematic Universe producer and MCU Vice President of Development Nate Moore has shed more light on where the studio stands on the matter of recasting Boseman's role. "You will not see T'Challa in future Marvel films. We just couldn't do it," said Moore during a November 12th appearance on the Ringerverse podcast. Moore, who has served as producer on films such as Black Panther and Eternals, said the decision to move forward without the character was swiftly made a year ago. "When Chad passed, it was a real conversation we had with director Ryan Coogler about what do we do, and it was a fast conversation. It wasn't weeks, it was minutes of we had to figure out how to move that franchise on without that character. Because I think we all feel so much of T'Challa in the MCU on the screen, not in comics, is tied to Chadwick's performance, is what we brought to that role both on and off screen," he continued. While fans expressed an understanding of the sentimental value of seeing Boseman as T'Challa, they also believe moving forward with a new character would best serve the franchise and Marvel's intertwining of storylines in other films. "I'm on team recast, and I'll die on that hill. T'Challa to some folks is more important than the actor. We missed so many good stories without him," wrote one person. "Recasted, all respect to Chadwick and what he did. Recasted, all respect to Chadwick and what he did, but I think by not recasting, it'll stunt the growth of the franchise." Nate Moore continues by saying, "You will not see T'Challa in the MCU 616 universe, meaning Marvel movies following that specific comic timeline will exist without T'Challa. But other universes of different timelines and the comics could potentially see a new iteration of the Black Panther." Some fans picked on more specificity. So basically what he's saying is, because they have created the universe, the multiverse, if you will, in the MCU, that means that we can see different iterations of all the characters that we love because they exist in different universes. To me, to be quite honest, I don't really like this whole concept of the multiverse, because it's like, okay, we know that Black Widow died in the MCU 616 universe, but there's multiple Black Widows, so now we can see a ton of Black Widows. I don't know, for me, in my timeline, in my generation, I'm still alive, I want to only care and worry about one Black Widow. I don't want to see multiple Black Widows coming on my screen. I think it dilutes and takes away from the years and years and years of watching this and caring about these characters, because, oh, another one can just pop up. What do you guys think about that? I don't really like that. I think it's a scapegoat, creating the multiverse and having all these different types of characters play the one true character that you love. Even with the new Spider-Man coming out, I mean, I think it's a great profitable idea to create the multiverse and to bring in the other iterations of the Spider-Man that that we know and that we've watched through the movies. But I feel like I love the Tom Holland version of the Spider-Man. So that's all I really care to see. I know everybody is different. I know everybody feels a different way about this concept. But I feel like it takes away from the authenticity of the real Spider-Man because we have so many different Spider-Men in the universe. I did like the animated series, or the movie rather, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to like this film. But ultimately, I just feel it takes away from the original character that we were introduced to. I'm pretty sure a lot of you feel differently. But for me, this is a nah. I don't want to see a different T'Challa. Not in my timeline. Not in my lifetime, I should say. Wait till I pass and then y'all can go recreate or whatever and do whatever y'all want to do. Because I feel like it's just not going to be the same. He's always going to be missed. And I feel like people can take up the mantle of the Black Panther. Cool. But T'Challa, that's too much. I didn't even really watch the What If cartoon series on Disney Plus. And to be quite frank, I don't think a lot of people did. Even though they're coming out with a season 2, I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan. But I don't have to be a fan of everything. And I do believe that what we've seen so far from these multiverse introducing type shows like Loki and What If, the shows are cool, but I'm not a true fan of Loki and I'm not a true fan of What If. I love WandaVision and I love Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I don't want to see another Black Widow in the MCU 616 universe. I don't want to see another T'Challa. That's just me. Leave your comments below. Let me know how you feel about that. Are you wanting to see a new T'Challa? Do you want the boy Chadwick Boseman to be replaced? I don't think the answer is yes. I just think maybe you're wanting too much. Anyways, leave your comments below and let me know if you believe that this is a worth it or a nah. Is it worth it to replace T'Challa, or is it a nah for you? It's a nah for me. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to click that thumbs up button, okay, and subscribe. I will be giving you content on a weekly basis. Love you guys. Deuces.